Hi everyone, I'm Zineb, I'm the CEO of the company and I'm here with Thibaut, my co-founder and COO. I'm very happy to be here today because when we see the video, I guess we have a lot to share with Fourier Intelligence. We also want to help people stand up and walk, even when it's very difficult for them. So I will briefly present the company in a few words. We are a startup that was founded in 2016. And at that time, we wanted to do a device that is, in the same time, very simple to use and very quick to install, but in the same time, at the high end of technology. It includes verticalizator, force platform, VR, and you will see the product with Jens later. We are based in Paris, in France, and all the production and software team is here. We are 9 employees today, and we have 2 devices in the portfolio. The first one, it's the one we will present, it's EMA. It's a connected device for rehabilitation of working and balance abilities. And the second one will be in the market very, very soon, by the end of this year. It's EMI, and it's a device that will be aimed to home use, to help patients at home to train when they can't go to the hospitals or they can't go enough to the hospitals to get better. In parallel of these 2 projects, we have R&D projects that are ongoing. The first one is that we try with the data we are gathering from our clients to analyze the work and balance patterns and see if there is any scheme of work that get out from this analysis. And the second one is the virtual reality. Thibaut will talk about it a lot more than me, so I will let him do this. So with our device, we are 3 segments that we are targeting: the rehabilitation centers and hospitals. These centers are used to have treadmills with lightning systems, but what we give them is a device that is very simple to use. It's very quick to install a patient in the device, and it's very complete. As I said earlier, there is a force platform integrated in the device, a work and balance analysis, a verticalizator, and that's what they like in the device. Our second segment is the senior homes. One particularity of our device is that it's adapted to very fragile people, patients. And so even in geriatrics, it can fit very well. And the last segment is the physiotherapy offices who like the product because it's very compact and it can adapt it to all spaces. Small physiotherapy offices or big are happy to welcome it. So to do this project, we are a team of 9 people, around 3 posts: software development, product development, and clinical studies, and finance and business. And when we started this project 5 years ago, we were engineers around the doctor, Thierry Albert, in the center of the slide. He is a doctor in physical therapy and the chief doctor of a rehab center near Paris, and is very known for Gait rehabilitation. And given the structure of our team, we always want to innovate and do more. Even if we have the product, we still innovate. That's why every day we will see that we have new things coming. So just follow us. Today we started the project 5 years ago, but we spent 2.5 years in R&D developing the product. And we started to sell the device in January 2018. And we have now more than 150 centers equipped. Among these centers, hospitals, rehab centers, and senior homes. And we partnered with the biggest groups of rehab centers and retirement homes in Europe. Hopefully later we will partner with groups from other continents. We have conducted 4 clinical studies. I will just briefly present one of them. We are conducting a study with Paris hospitals. And the idea is to show that by using this device, EMA, at home, the patients can be better at home. So we prove that there is that if a patient can have a device at home, the physiotherapist need to pass by the patient's home once a week, for example, and the other sessions can be done by the family of the patients. We show that it's very, very easy and simple to use as a device. So we are present in France, Germany, Norway, Switzerland, Hong Kong, and soon Malaysia. And we're happy to partner with our partner Sans there. And it's a device that is patented. I can talk about this later. Now I will let Jens present the device as a demo. Jens, can you? Jens, I don't know if you can start the demo.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. I'm Jens from the Hong Kong office. Okay, so I'll have a very short presentation of the product. Okay, then I'll jump directly to the demonstration itself. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so in the recent 10 years plus, we have a lot of breakthroughs, okay, in scientific knowledge and technology involving gait rehabilitation. Okay, we have many things. We have many new techniques, new toys, okay, new science about the topic. Okay, so here are a few of them. Okay, so some traditional techniques such as static standing balance training, okay, and BWSTT, body weight supported treadmill training. Okay, these are old techniques, okay, but we have more scientific researches into it. We know much better how do they work, okay, how much benefit they bring to our patients, okay. And there are other new technologies such as, how we incorporate cognitive engagement to our patients, okay. We should give like scenery or VR to our patients so they immerse more. Okay, and now we can even have visual kinetic feedback, okay, some kind of real-time gait analysis, okay, which in the past only available in established gait analysis laboratories. And even higher technologies, we can now stimulate the brain to make it learn faster, okay, so I can absorb more motor information to regain learning even faster, okay. So even for people who are not suitable for rehabilitation, now we have robotic gait training devices, robotic suits, okay, to help them with their daily lives. Okay, so it's really lucky for patients this year, okay, this era, okay, they have much more things that can help them and more hope for them to return to a better shape, even to normal function. So here comes the clinical challenge. We have all these good things. We have all these toys, okay, but how often do our patients, do our elderly get to use them? Okay, why do we still see many wheelchair-bound elderly people in the elderly home hopelessly waiting for their treatment? Okay, I will break down the problem here like this. Okay, so aging population is a problem for all modern societies. Okay, we have more and more patients who requires these trainings. Okay, however, these technologies are new, they're not cheap. Okay, so you cannot find them in the community. They're only in very limited supply. So with limited resources, limited therapists, even limited space, these technologies are huge, okay? Even if you have the money, you cannot put them in your local community center, okay? It's not possible. And this technology often get outdated pretty fast, okay? There's a new version every other year. So investors say, I own a private clinic, okay? Will I invest in a cutting edge technology just invented this year? Probably no. So I'll wait for a few years for it to get sophisticated. So these are the clinical challenge, the realistic challenge that we have today. Why we have all the good stuff, we have all the science, but we don't get to use it on our elderlies. So EzyGain provided Emma as the solution. The principle is pretty simple. They try to cram as much as possible the advanced scientific rehabilitation technology in something which is small. You can put it in any small clinics, community center. Actually, it's just the size of a recumbent bike, which this system has to be affordable. So everyone, okay, interested, any investor interested in Gait training providing this service can afford them, okay, at a reasonable price. It has to be easy to operate. Okay, so even community center, elderly homes who most of the time do not have a dedicated therapist or doctor can use them easily. Even patients themselves can often use them themselves. And in the end, this system has to be modular and upgradable. So investors will be willing, today I buy this machine. Okay, next year I don't need to replace the whole thing. Okay, just put more modules to it, upgrade it. So the whole thing will be attractive to people who buy it, available to people who use it. So these are some of the technology that Emma puts inside in this system. The first thing is body weight supported treadmill training, okay? And the second thing is biofeedback balance training and assessment, and then virtual reality, and of course, Gait visual kinetic feedback, okay? I'll go into each of the topic in more details. Okay. So the first feature of the system is its compact size. Okay, the whole thing, as I just mentioned, is only the size of a recumbent bike. Okay, it even has a wheelchair ramp. Okay, so for similar system in the market, it can easily go up to 2.8, 3 meters plus long. Okay, which is not really realistic for a community or even like a small clinical setting. Okay. You can even fold this device up, okay, when you're not using it. So it's actually quite amazingly engineered, okay, how they put so many things, even a force plate in it, given its small space, small size. Okay, so now we go into the more of the scientific stuff, okay, clinical features that it actually provides. Okay, the first thing is body weight supported treadmill training, okay. So usually, if you want to do that, you need a very long treadmill, you need a wheelchair ramp able to put a wheelchair on it, and then use an electric hoist or actuator to support the patient, okay? It takes a lot of space. Okay, so within this small footprint, it allows 130 kilogram maximum user weight, okay? And it's a percentage-based body weight support system. It's not only a safety frame, okay, which catches you when you fall, it actually provides you percentage body weight support, okay, which is unseen in products of this size. Virtual reality is getting known, okay, for nearly all therapists that virtual reality cognitive engagement is very important for the intensity and active participation of a therapy, Gait, or anything else. Okay, so this system incorporates a virtual reality system. Okay, you can choose between scenery, okay, which synchronizes with the treadmill and the walking of the patient, or even fully immersed in a virtual environment. Okay, so here comes to Gait analysis. Okay, Gait training without Gait analysis is never complete. Okay, your patient can learn how to walk, but they don't walk with a very physical, very beautiful gait pattern, and it's very difficult to tell them in an objective way. So this machine provides a pretty complete gait analysis. Of course, it cannot compare to like a complete Gait lab solution, but like most of the clinical data that you want, you can always find in this system. It provides a center of gravity tracking. It provides butterfly cup, and it automatically breaks down gait phases for you. Okay, you don't need to put in your own time markers. The system provides everything. Okay, so you just walk the walk. The system will give you the report. Static balance. It's something that a lot of clinics search for. Okay, how about my patient is not very able to walk? You just want to stand them in a position to train their core strength, or as a complement to the existing walking programs. Okay, this system also provides that. Okay, its biofeedback training games is always updating. Even me, I cannot catch up with the new games. Okay, so maybe later I'll show you some of them. And it provides 2 standard tests, Romberg test and limit of stability. The whole system features a modular design, okay, which means that according to your needs and the system advanced development, okay, you can always put more function, more features to it, okay, for a specific need. For the time being, the system is tablet-based, okay? You can download and update your software on the App Store, okay? So it's pretty straightforward. And if you're interested, you can add on VR systems, like you can put sensors on your lower limb, okay? And you can do the obstacle course. You can immerse yourself in a virtual environment. You can train your head movement, okay? This kind of stuff. So the possibility to this system is great, okay? So I think this kind of concludes my brief presentation of the system, okay? If you don't mind, I'm going to set up the demonstration, okay? So I think the Q&A session will begin. Okay.
Yep, so whilst Jens is setting up, if you have any questions, do type it in the Q&A box below. Okay, I can see that our participants are very shy today. So we have a few questions. Could EMA be used to evaluate patient compatibility for other wearable robotic platforms from third-party products? For example, would Otterbox, C-Brace, or Osher-Rehoni? So this is from George Woodland. Can somebody answer that?
Okay, so hello, George. I'm not sure I know exactly what products are the C-Brace or the Rehoni. What I can tell you is that some patients that, for instance, wear prostheses or things like this, will use EMA to train, and thanks to the biofeedback, they know how much weight they could put on one foot or on the other one, and it helps them trigger maybe the prosthesis if there is a need for this. But I don't want to go any further on your question. I'm not sure exactly what the products are.
Okay. So affordability seems to be an important feature. So how much would this system cost compared to a traditional VR or weight-supported treadmill system?
Jens, you can answer for Malaysia and Hong Kong and Asia.
Okay, so I'm yeah, I'm familiar with the market in Hong Kong and kind of familiar in Singapore. Okay, so currently similar system sells around 2 to 3 times more expensive than the EMA system. Okay, and they're often larger. You can always find more expensive system, okay, with more features, okay, up to like, you can find system which is 10 times more expensive than this thing, okay? So I would say with our budget in Hong Kong, it's very affordable for elderly centers, community settings, okay? So, but our first units are sold in the hospitals, okay? So I think it says something about the functions capability of these machines, okay? It's not a watered down version of previously available devices, okay? Even the hospitals would find it very powerful, very useful, okay? But yeah, it's really small and attractive in terms of pricing. Yeah.
And yeah,
Understand.
yes, you're right. Even in France and Europe, when we talk about the device, and to some centers that are very known and very well equipped, first they don't feel the interest of having it, and then they get a demo with their patient, and then they see how much things the device can do. So yes, we'll present what it can do, but yeah, it's very important to know to emphasize the fact that it's affordable but very complete in the same time.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think we will proceed to the demo, and then any questions, feel free to type it in and we will answer them after.
Okay. So thank you very much for your patience. So let's start with the demonstration. Okay, so here you can see in my small office settings, I can already cram the EMA unit here. That's everything it has. Okay, the weight support system, a treadmill with force plate, virtual reality, and biofeedback. Okay, everything in this small package. So he's now currently in a folded position. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty easy to open it up. Okay, even if one person, one arm, there's no problem doing that. If I want, I can install the wheelchair ramp just by linking it to the device. Okay, the whole system would be, I think it's still less than 2 meters long, okay, which is really, really, really small, provided the things that it's able to do. Okay, so you may ask, for this small device, okay, how much weight, how much support can it provide to me? Okay, so I'm around 180 pounds. Okay, so now I'm showcased to you the weight support system. Okay, if it's really sturdy enough to support me. Okay, so this is the harness that they provide. Okay, they specifically choose something that's very easy to put on. Material is very sturdy. Okay, I've sold some fully fledged body weight support system, and I think this is one of the best harness I've seen in any of them. It's very simple. So usually there are many bells and buckles I need to tie and tighten for other system. I have it everything in order to put the patient in a stable position. But for this, I think it's doing a very good job. Right. So let's turn on the system. All right. So the only thing I need to put in is my body weight. All right. So when I dial up the body weight support, it actually displays that the percentage that is helping me with. Okay, so maybe I stay with around 20%. Okay, so is it good enough to hold my body weight? Definitely yes. Okay, so and the harness is only halfway, okay, on my trunk, okay? So you may worry about that. I might actually flip backwards, which is not very possible. Okay, I've tried my best to flip, but it's really not that possible. And it's the same to the forward direction, okay? So you cannot flip in this thing, you cannot fall in this thing, okay? It's small, but it's a very powerful stuff, okay? So let's go to the software. Okay, what can I do with the system? So I'm now weight supported to around 10%. Okay, I can put it to a higher percentage if I want, but I think that's good now. Okay, the first thing I see is the walking landscape. So I can go to different places in the world. Say, let's go to this place. Let me increase the speed of the treadmill. So the video is synchronized with the speed of the treadmill and my walking. You can see the number of steps, how far did I walk, time, and the speed, body weight support here, the very, very basic information. But in fact, behind the software is collecting much more data, which we'll see very soon. I can turn on the metronome for patients with Parkinson's disease, or I just want to keep my pace, okay? Something I want, a pace that I want my patients to walk. Okay. So I'll just stop here, okay. So the walking session is already stored in the system, okay? I walked 35 steps, 12 meters, and other settings are always there, okay? It has already broken down my gait cycle, okay, with no markers manually input. My step length, average single support weight, okay, everything that I might be interested to improve my gait symmetry, okay. So yeah, it's just that simple, okay. Of course, there is no range of motion, but yeah, most of the gait data you need is already there. All right, so there's another visualization for the gait training, which is the gait analysis. All right, so this is the CG view. The green line and the red dot represent my center of gravity. And for better real-time biofeedback for my gait pattern, I can always turn on a butterfly cot, okay, which shows me the relative step length of my left side and right side. Okay, even for me, like I think my step length is a bit longer on one side, which is normal. Okay, I can use this grid to limit my gait pattern to a certain area. Okay, I can always use this to prompt my patient to improve their gait pattern instead of just walking, repeating the wrong thing. I can use this to help them learn the right thing. Okay, say let's increase your step length and decrease your lateral foot placement. Okay, so I can always use this kind of setting to improve, to give them a real-time gait feedback. So how about the safety? Okay, for people using this device, they're most likely quite fragile. Okay, what are the safety system provided by the system? First of all, there's a safety emergence button here. Okay, but I'm not showing it. I don't want to move my cameras. It's very difficult to set them up. And more than that, there are two more automatic safety features. First thing, of course, if my weight is less than 5 kg on the treadmill, it will automatically stop. That's safety feature number one. Okay, so even some of the fully fledged system cannot do this. You have to manually stop it. or use the magnetic treadmill stopper. And the other thing is when I slide to the end of the treadmill, see, I cannot catch up with the speed, even if it's only 1 kilometer, it will stop, okay, because I'm at the last 15 centimeters of the treadmill. So it's very safe, okay, you cannot fall, okay, if you fall, your knees can never reach the ground, and even if you're in mid-air, the machine will automatically stop, okay? So here concludes the Gait training and analysis, okay? Training is interesting. There is a scenery, which is synchronized with your walking speed. Your Gait data is automatically analyzed, okay? And for more serious sessions with therapists, you can have a real-time Gait analysis feedback for them to improve their Gait pattern, okay? So let's go to the balance exercise part. It's separated into reports and trainings, okay? So this part gets very frequent updates. So even myself, I cannot catch up with the latest game. Okay, so I'll just show you something I have never played. Let's play this. Okay, so let's see. Okay, it's very intuitive. It's my first time to play this game. So I need to raise my feet off the ground like a weight shifting action. Okay, fair, pretty simple. Let's start. Okay, so what happens? Okay, that's it. Like this. Maybe further to the right. All right, I think I got it. So the trainings are very intuitive. We have tried to play these games with elderlies in different settings, and they are very happy with it. I think my weight support is a bit too much. Right. And the balance games are separated into different categories. Say, I want to focus on lateral direction, front and back, and even multiple directions. So this is one of my favorite. All right, so I am the security guard. I need to use my balance to control the torch to fight the thieves. Where are you? Where are you? Okay, you're here. So the further I lean away from my CG, okay, the longer the torch light is, and I can, yeah, catch them. So it's quite fun to play this game. Yes, I think that is for the balance games. Okay, there are more colorful, intuitive visualizations for every direction that you might want to train. So, but I'm not going to go through them one by one. So next thing is the analysis and reports. First thing is limit of stability. So it's a very standard balance test. You need to lean in different directions without falling and see how much can you reach in different directions. And in the end, they will find out the weakest direction of yours, and you can focus more on that directions training. The last thing is the static balance training. Okay, so just stand in a way which is standard to the test. And don't move. Okay, so they have different scenarios: eyes open, eye closed, steady, or maybe on an unstable surface. Okay, but it is very boring, so I'm not going to go through this. So you have all the reports after the assessment and training. Okay, it's separated into walk and this balance. tells you your performance when your eyes are open, eyes are closed, okay, how much you rely on your vision, okay. So it's a very standard balance test, and you can do it with the EMA system. And for games, I have points, and you can see the progress. All right. Yeah, I think it sums up the system. You can use it. There are many functions. Okay, so it's good. It's small. It's not expensive. So thank you very much. Please pass on to the next presenter.
No, thanks, Jens. I think we have a couple of questions on the device. So
Nice.
does the software need to be renewed every year?
Yes, so we update the software every 6 weeks, actually. And if a center want to get the software, the center can either have an investment for many years or try to renew every year the subscription. I think it's the same for you, Jens.
Oh yeah.
I think you
So
apply the same thing in Hong Kong and Malaysia.
yeah, it's the same thing in Hong Kong and in Singapore. You can purchase the software for 1 year. You can purchase it for 10 years. Okay. The good thing about this kind of system is it's always updated online, and you don't need to worry about if your things. If you have fresh elements for your patients to play with, to train with. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good system. And yeah.
Okay. Thanks. And are the width of the weight supporting arm adjustable?
They are not adjustable. Okay. So it's one of the limitation of the system. Okay. The width is not adjustable, but we have tried some pretty bariatric patients. We have not much problem training with them. Okay, if you're worried that it will block your patient sideways, you can step one step behind, okay, which would work perfectly. Also, so yeah, I think it solves your question. Yeah, therapists in Hong Kong also asked this question. Yeah,
Okay. So we'll answer some of the other questions after Thibault shares with us a little bit more on the virtual reality of this.
Okay, thank you very much.
Can you hear me well?
Yep.
Okay. Hello, everybody. So I am Thibault. I am an engineer as well, like Zineb, I'm co-founder as well. Thank you very much, Jens, for your presentation. I would simply add something which is very new to it, is that you can play all the balance games while sitting on the big plastic balls that the physiotherapists use, or even sitting on a stool or a chair, since it is on the blue platform, and it allows the use of the EMA treadmill with lots of new patients, for instance with paraplegic patients or with patients that will want to work on their trunk balance and trunk tonus. This is a great new update of the software. So now I'm going to speak a little bit about the virtual reality module that you can add on the product. So the VR I am talking about here is the fully immersive one, the one where you wear the headset on your head. And I'm not speaking of the screen on the tablet or a TV. So the one with the headset allows you to have like a 360 degrees environment, even when you turn your head around. And you also have like lateralized sound. You will have sound on your left ear or on your right ear, depending on where the sound comes from in the virtual environment, which is great. And it will also stimulate what we call the peripheral vision around your eyes, which is very important when you want to stimulate properly the vision and the cognitive stimulation of the patient. So those things are not possible with a TV screen. It's only possible with a headset or with a very huge screen around your installation, which would be quite expensive. So why did we choose at EzyGain to go to virtual reality? First thing is that we have a strong interest in video game and gaming, and we have really a strong belief that rehabilitation has to take benefits from gaming and video games, all about stimulation, cognitive stimulation, and motivation. Motivation is really the key factor that we want to trigger with the patient and Emma. You already have a lot of literature, scientific literature on the positive effects of the virtual reality, motivation, engagement, focus of the patient on the exercise, and even reducing the pain that the patients will feel during the exercise, which is great. So all our clients were also asking for it. I spend like maybe 4 or 3 days of my week on the field doing presentation of the Emma treadmill, and every week since 2 years, the physiotherapists were asking me, but can we also walk on the treadmill with the virtual reality headset? So there is a strong demand on the field for it. So our VR system now stands at the crossroads between the scientific literature that proves that it's already working well in rehabilitation and the demand on the field from physiotherapists and doctors. So starting from here, we decided to create a module that would that could produce situations that are really hard to produce in the rehabilitation center. For instance, crossing a street where you have cars and where you have pedestrians coming at you, and while you have dogs walking on the street. I mean, we want to prepare the patient to go back to the real life outside the rehabilitation center. And this is something that we can provide in some ways with the virtual reality. So we have built 6 verticals, and we have built the first step of 6 verticals in the virtual reality. So we have the first one, which is exploration. For the moment, we have like a forest walk, and it's great to walk around and watch. You will see it in the video. We have the lower limb particular exercises, like walking over obstacles, walking over hurdles. We have the upper limb exercise. Now we are also opening to the upper limb rehabilitation. We have static balance with unipodal balance and audio stimulation. And we have a dynamic and challenging environment, such as walking inside a city, where you have like observation and things like this. You have also the report and analysis for the range of motion of the lower limb or the upper limb. So you might ask me why doing exercise like walking over obstacles if you can do it with the simple parallel bars and the plastic tools that you can put on the floor. Here with the virtual reality, the great thing is that you will have the obstacles, you can choose the height of the obstacle easily, and then you can record the ability and the performance of the patients each time after each time. So you might ask me also for which kind of patients it is, because VR brings a lot of questions and fears that can be legitimate. Is it too heavy for the head of the patient? Is it like not comfortable? Is it too hot inside? My patients have like visual impairments. Can they use it? Can the patient use glasses inside? What about motion sickness? You know, when you have nausea when you're walking with virtual reality. So these are fears that we very quickly tried to address because we made like a few weeks testing in clinics and senior homes, and everything went really, really great. So in the senior home, we used it with patients, with residents that had cognitive impairments, lower and medium cognitive troubles. It worked very well on their, they were like serene, they were peaceful because they were walking inside something very peace. And we were trying to motivate them with exploration. on the rehab clinics, we were more working on the exercises and the motivation. It was working very well, and no problem with the glasses, no problem with the weight of the heads. The other problem we have now is with the mask and the headset at the same time. It's kind of blurry inside, but that's the only thing. So the conclusion is that we can really use it with many patients since they are not epileptic, or since they do not have like very severe cognitive troubles. I'm going to move now to a short video showing you how it is working. Can you see my screen? Okay, I'm going to start.
Sorry, Thibaut, I think it's a bit gray. Is this the video?
Sorry.
Are you playing a video? Because we see a gray screen.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the sharing and do it again. Yes, I was sharing the video. It's working now?
Yeah.
Okay, enjoy. So it was really a short one, just giving you a glimpse of how it is working. You have many things that you can work on since you are opening the virtual world, such as for patients after a stroke, you can work on the hemi-neglect, when you're neglecting half of your space, but not only with your vision, but with your whole body turning around, which is really important to work. And you have many things to work on with it. So the future of EMA VR, just to conclude on this, is having like a complete VR solution with the upper limb. We have started now working on it, and they're going to be released like in a few weeks, with the lower limb and with the gait at the same time, and having like something very wide library of exercises and stimulating situations for the patient. And how we're going to do it is exactly like Jens was saying. We're going to update the software maybe once every month or once every 6 weeks, depending on the size of the updates we're going to push. But that's it. Thank you very much for your attention. And if you have any questions, please feel free.
Thank you, Thibaut. I think that was a very immersive experience with Emma and the VR. We've got a question on the VR. So does Emma offer any integration with other VR game engines, for example, the Unreal Engine 4, or is it currently limited to some in-house software for developing training programs?
Okay, so this is an interesting question when you come to developing games on a new platform. So far, it is only limited to in-house games, since we really, they're not only games, they are rehabilitation games. So everything that we develop in-house is not developed only by like the software developers. We're making this with doctors in physical rehabilitation. We're doing this with a physiotherapist, ergotherapist. So that's why we try to keep this very scientific and validating environment around the games we're building. But maybe this is something we can think about for a future.
Okay, thank you.
Can I just ask if the person who asked this question have some game in mind or something that can be adapted to the device? I don't know if he or she can answer.
So it was anonymous, so the anonymous person would have to type the answer again. I think we've got a few other questions. So has any patient experienced nausea, headaches, or dizziness during the VR training? Thank you.
Not during the exercise, because yes, about nausea and motion sickness, which is something that can occur during VR experiences. This occurs from two factors. The first one is if you have like quite a reasonable or low quality headset, which does not refresh the frame as fast as it should be. This is why we have quite a pro version of the Vive technology with a cable and so on. So it's like a very powerful one. And the second cause for nausea and motion sickness is if you are disturbing your inner ear. So that's why it's not occurring on EMA, since you're walking at exactly the same pace with your feet on the treadmill than the speed of the image around you. So nobody has experienced like nausea, but for some patients, maybe one with that were very tired before trying this, or that have like very high cognitive troubles. Sometimes they were like a bit dizzy, but not during, but just after, I mean, when they were putting off the mask, just, okay, I'm back in the real world. Okay, calm down and then go back.
Okay, thank you. So I think we're just being mindful of time. I'll just read the kind of questions and answers that Zineb has already answered, just for recording purposes. So interesting piece of technology there. Would the integration of several key rehab tech there be compromising the durability or stability of the system? So the basics doesn't change, the hardware. We add mainly the software technology. Okay. Another question is, in order to obtain a small device size, what are the trade-offs compared to other larger or fully fetched systems? What are the reasons behind these design decisions? So the reason is that many centers are very small rooms where there is no classical treadmill that can fit into the small rooms. So one trade-off is that the patients cannot run on it. It really is for gait rehabilitation. Okay, so I think one last question to kind of really sum up the whole session today. Will there be a plan to build a bigger and more comprehensive system from EzyGain, or the direction is to go smaller, modular, and portable?
So no, for now we really want to focus on getting things smaller, because there are lots of manufacturers who have big treadmills, and we've seen that being small make it also very quick to install the patient, very simple, and we want to keep the simple in mind, because we've seen that the physiotherapists like it and the patients too. So yeah, the plan is not to have bigger devices, but stay with Emma and the smaller version for home use.
Well put. Thank you very much. So I think with that, I would like to conclude today's webinar. Thank you to both Zineb, Jens, for your time. And thank you everybody for watching. If you would like to rewatch the recording, you can find it on Facebook Live, and we also have previous sessions and also next week's sessions on Tuesday, same time, same place.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, T-Bone.
Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jens, for your demo.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a nice day. Bye-bye.